Ahoy, and welcome to the newest edition of the Ramble On About Movies Immediate Reactions. I am Eric. With me, as always, is handsome Dan Nye.
Clever Eric Muller. Thank you very much for having me on this late Thursday night. It finally happened.
It finally happened. We finally got to see Captain America Civil War. Me for the first time, Dan for the second time, you lucky son of a gun.
And the first thing I said, I was like, you're welcome for not spoiling any of that.
And we're going to do the same for you.
Yes.
Because we want you all to see this movie. It is fantastic. Where do you want to go from start off, Dan?
From immediate reactions, because I'm trying to think, I already had that time to, absorb it and go, so this is the second viewing, and it's, just thinking about it after I got out of the theater, it's such a tight movie. Yeah. This is as tight as a drum. There's not any part of the movie that you're watching you're like, well, that wasn't relevant, or this didn't need to be there.
Every scene makes sense, and every character arc makes sense, and it's a fluid motion. It's not like Batman v Superman where it's like, here's a new character just because. Here, every new character makes sense. The character arcs make sense. I agree. When I heard one review, it's like, if you go in there Team Cap, you're gonna at one point be like, okay, Tony's got a good point, and vice versa.
And that's what we talked about a little bit, and I was doing not spoilers, and you having just seen it again, it's very political, and it comes off very political, but it's also it's political in a good way. A lot of times, and everyone, when you talk politics nowadays, it's like, my view's right and you're wrong just because. Yeah, and this is very straight down the middle, and you can see both sides very, very well, and they're both very well represented. So it's there's just everything about the movie, the action, the drama.
Some of the best action I've seen in a comic book movie, just in a movie in general. Especially the opening sequence with Crossbones, which is not a spoiler.
No, the opening sequence with Crossbones. And that's you don't really see that sequence coming, because it's kind of an hour into the movie, and that happens kind of quickly.
Yeah, it's within 5 minutes. You're already in the fire.
Yeah, and it's happening, and just the way this story is going, it's putting you right back into, you're not taken out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. You're put right back into it, and within that first 5 to 10 minutes, you're seeing the stakes, you're seeing clearly what they are, and it's bringing everyone up to speed. It's a very great next chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as the steps go, but it's also, I think this would be a good standalone, because the way everything
everything works great by itself.
And the way everything's established, you're getting that little bit of backstory. You're getting that little bit of Captain America in the action scenes. You're getting that little bit of Iron Man.
Yeah, everyone shines. Everyone has their moment in the action sequence. The new characters are fantastic. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther.
We are not going to spoil all of the new characters, because there's a lot you have to see with this.
You got to see it to believe it, and it's amazing. But yeah, we can say Chadwick Boseman, fantastic as Black Panther.
He nailed it. The new Spider-Man nailed it.
I don't want to say the best Spider-Man I've seen, but it is really hard not to make that point.
It's very difficult not to make that point. There's already a case for it. And as was very recently announced, Spider-Man Homecoming, it is not a origin story.
Nope.
This is the only...
It's a continuation of what you see in the movie.
This is Spider-Man. You get him in this movie. So I'm not going to say anything else on it, because
never mind.
I don't want to ruin it. What else? I mean, and that,
there's even a good villain too. Yeah. There's a really good villain, and the thing is, you didn't even need the villain in the movie to make that movie work.
No, but it makes it that much more compelling.
Right, he's the moving force. He's the one who's pulling all the strings, and it works so well.
It does
a really good job paying homage to the comic book. I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything else. I will say, if you've read the Civil War story arc, you will be impressed with how they carried this over into the MCU.
With what we talked about the other day on our preparation, did they do any sort of, because you've read the comics and I have, did they do any sort of homage to the speech the Captain gives? Yes, no. Was there a little bit of dialogue or not really?
A little bit. I mean, because the full homage is almost 2 pages in the comics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're not going to be doing that in the movie.
Well, I'll ask more specifically when we do our spoilers. Right. That'll be up sometime next week. We always just like to do these as soon as possible. But I don't think we can recommend this anymore.
No, and it's fantastic. And now, speaking of our own podcast, the ranking special, when we said that the best movie of the MCU is the Avengers.
Yes.
How does Cap Civil War compared to the Avengers?
Viewing compared to the Avengers? Well, and that's what I was thinking about too, is because in both the Avengers movies, you have to worry literally about screen time. Like in Avengers, you had to do everybody equal screen time. And this was very much Cap movie, then Iron Man movie. And that's how it was marketed, which was brilliant for it. Mm-hmm. But like you said a couple minutes ago, everyone gets their chance to shine. Yep. There's not one person who's overlooked or you don't get a great, at least like small scene with. Everyone gets a good scene in this movie.
Yeah, everyone has a good line.
Even Martin Freeman, who's in the movie for...
Martin Freeman plays the American version of himself.
Yeah, it's great. And he's, no spoilers, he's in the movie maybe 10 minutes, but he's still great. He's still great. Like, it's a tiny character, but there's nothing... It fits so well, and it flows so well. Mm-hmm. So, and as far as ranking it with Avengers, I mean, time will tell, but right now I'm putting it above Avengers.
I'm doing the same thing. I cannot stop singing this movie's praises. I mean, we'll have to stop at some point because I want to go to bed.
you want to go to bed, but we want everyone to see this movie.
Yes, please do it. See it multiple times if you can.
It's so great, and if this is where the MCU is going.
If this is where Phase 3 is going, we were in for a great ride.
Is there anything else we really need to touch on? Like, is there anything?
2 post-credit scenes.
Yes, there are 2. I think
we're not going to say what they are, but just so you know, because with the Age of Ultron, there was only 1.
Yeah,
I feel like if you see an MCU movie, you have to do the courtesy of letting people know how many.
That's fair. So there are 2 post-credit scenes. One fun one and one plot relevant one is what I will say, because with all the events that happened in Civil War, one of them is like, hey, this is the tease where we're going, and then the other one's kind of just
one is the epilogue, and the other one's just a fun one.
Yeah.
But go see Captain America Civil War.
Should we start actually ranking movies and giving them numbers or grades?
You want to do grades?
We'll do grades.
A+.
Yeah, I totally have to agree. I like how we're busting it out now on a movie where we're both like,
Right, where we don't really need to worry about the ramifications. Where someone's like, what do you mean an A+? Why not an A++?
Because that's just semantics, and this is, I
was going to say, technically, it's weighted grades, and no one does A+s anymore.
So, that may be what we think of it. This probably isn't going to be the best movie ever made, so obviously we can't do an A++. Duh. But
it's not Shawshank. No. But yes.
Hey, you argued Godfather.
No, I didn't.
You didn't argue at all.
I hosted.
Thank you. I appreciate that callback to anyone who would put that together. Probably you, me, and Nate.
Yeah, and Dave.
But yeah, go see Civil War. Yes. We're rambling because that's what we do here.
We are the Ramble On About Movies podcast. I'm Eric. This is Dan. Ahoy, ahoy. Anchors away.
Yes, go see this.
Ramble on.